I am. A very good morning to you. I'm outside Buckingham Palace on a very, very, very nice day, it must be said, this morning.
Darren, I mean, what is happening politically with all of this? Because it is remarkable the number of world leaders who are now jetting in to the UK. I mean, on a political and diplomatic front, this is quite a mission.
Yeah, it really is indeed, and actually quite a big security operation. I'm not entirely sure this country has seen anything like it since the last state funeral, which was Winston Churchill back in 1955. There are going to be presidents, princes, kings, leaders, heads of government, heads of state arriving over this weekend. As we just heard in that report, Jacinda Ardern, for example, the New Zealand Prime Minister is already here. People like Joe Biden, the US President, are going to arrive. Emmanuel Macron, the French President, the King of Spain, Belgium, of Sweden, the Vice President of China also expected. And that means, yes, diplomatically, it's a very important moment. And we know that King Charles is going to have a reception for those world leaders inside Buckingham Palace the night before the funeral, and that the Prime Minister Liz Truss is going to meet some of those leaders as well as they arrive here on Sunday evening. But unsurprisingly, it is going to mean a massive security operation for the Metropolitan Police to have so many VIPs in one area with their own demands and their own needs and frankly their own security. It's going to be an incredibly complex position to try and make it work all terribly smoothly, but they will be there, 500 of them in places in Westminster Abbey on Monday morning. As for what it's like here at Buckingham Palace this morning, interestingly, I've just walked essentially from the Palace of Westminster down here, and normally on a Saturday morning things are pretty quiet, aren't they? There's not that many people around at 7 a.m. But today is really different. Even though there's nothing really happening at Buckingham Palace, there are still lots and lots of people milling around, hundreds walking through St James's Park, walking along the Mall, people clearly, some of them camping for Monday already. And it's really interesting actually, just to kind of soak up that atmosphere in a little way, but people are continuing to queue, as you suggested, overnight, try and get into the Palace of Westminster to the Lion in State in Westminster Hall. That queue essentially already 25 hours long. There you go, those are the live pictures just from Southwark, so I think actually Lambeth, that is, just across the bridge there, Lambeth Bridge in London. The government effectively telling people not really to turn up unless you really, really, really want to, simply because that queue is now so long. And I suspect, Stephen, at some point today, they will possibly turn around and say, it's capacity, because by the time they get all those people through, yes, it's going to last until Monday morning, but at some stage they'll say it's too long for everyone, that it's the tail end, those at the end will only just get there in time. So in terms of what's happening today with the King, not really much happening actually. I think this is another day of rest for him. It's pretty quiet, as they say down here at Buckingham Palace, when you get in the media pen, but there are still, as you would expect on a Saturday, particularly a nice day like this, but lots of people milling around, soaking up the atmosphere, and many, I'm sure, maybe contemplating whether they're going to join that queue, because there are lots of people who want to be there. And I'll just leave you with a quote from one person who was there when the princes were there last night, and they say, to see them standing there, it's emotional anyway, but there are just no words for it. It took my breath away. It was surreal. You just can't believe you're there. That's one testimony from one woman who managed to turn up at the same time as the princes and the Princess Royal were there last night. Clearly quite an incredible experience.
Yeah, absolutely so. Darren, thank you.